Hello, witches and wizards. I actually had a full-blown video. I was out hunting. I found an emergency. I found McGonagall. I found some Severes. Hermione Granger, she ditched on me again. And in fact, I have seen 9 Hermione Grangers. I've caught 3. So for whatever reason, that particular Foundable just, it doesn't like me. But the video that I shot before, I'm not gonna air because A, I didn't like it. I mean, just to call a spade, I didn't like it. And the reason why I didn't like it is because there are things that have been said that got to me. And in the moment of recording my video, I kind of let it come out. And that's not who I want to be. And so essentially, just to kind of give you the gist of what it was, is there were comments out there from people, not specifically to my YouTube channel, but to other people who create content for YouTube for Wizards Unite, saying that I think the Sylph did a video yesterday, a couple days ago, where basically he just said, like, what's the point? And he gave his experience and why he's kind of down on the game right now. And there's nothing wrong with that. From watching his video, kind of what I took from that was it isn't the exact game that he thought he was signing up for. And you can't blame someone for that. If you think that you're going to get A, and then you kind of get like A.5 or B, you're like, well, yeah, like this is good, but I kind of had my heart set on this over here. So he was stating his opinion. I have no problem with people stating their opinion on anything because it's your opinion. So you are completely entitled to your own opinion. And I was reading through some of the comments, and several of them were kind of along the lines of, I'm glad one of you content creators, they call them WooTubers, it's just a generic name, but I'm glad one of you finally told it like it was. I'm tired of all the other ones saying everything's great. And that's not the first time that I've seen that comment. I've seen it on other people's comments. I've seen it on my videos as well. And the truth of the matter is that Wizards Unite is a phenomenally complete game. Now, I don't mean phenomenally complete as in this is the entire package of everything that you're going to get. No, this game, it's like a funnel that goes this way. So it started from, it's the Big Bang. How about we'll go with that? It's the Big Bang. So it started from whatever and then exploded. And now it's just going to be expanding from there until the game is no longer supported at all by the fans, Portkey Games, Warner Bros. Games, or Niantic. So that's not what I mean by a complete game. What I mean by a complete game, and what my original video was supposed to be about today, and it's still going to be about, is this game is complete in the fact that you cannot focus on one specific aspect of this game and play the game. You just can't. If you only want to go out, walk around, find Foundables, free Foundables, you're going to miss out on 60% of the game, 40% of the game. I don't know. You're going to miss out on a chunk of a percentage of the game. What they've done when they created this game is they've made it so that they offer Foundables in the wild, Foundables in Fortress Towers, Foundables in Portkeys. And you have to do all 3 of those in order to complete what is in front of us currently. And they've already shown that they're willing to tweak some things based on user feedback. If things aren't really working the way they wanted them to, or they're just not being well received, they will tweak them and put out a product that people are happy with. How many additions have we already had? We already have 1 new registry page. There were several other registry pages that had a Foundable added to them. We've had, 4 brilliant events now, 2 community days. We have a fan fest coming up in like a week and a half. So even 2 months into this game, like, it's a very complex, very in-depth game, and you cannot just do one aspect of it. So if you have a registry, and we'll use Care of Magical Creatures, page 1 is unlike other page 1s, but we'll use page 1. It's got Rubius Hagrid. It's an emergency. It only takes 1, which is unusual because most emergencies, I think, take like 15 or 11 in order to complete, I think it's 15 to complete that page, and then you register, prestige it up after you find everything else on that page. Some pages within the registry, you can find everything out in the wild. Some items out of those registries, you can find in the wild, or you can find in a port key. So you have additional ways of finding them. Some, you can only find those items doing wizarding challenges. So you have to battle fortresses. So how do you battle a fortress? Well, you battle a fortress by collecting runestones. Well, how do you get runestones? Well, you catch Foundables in the wild, level up your family XP until you hit 100, then it resets back down. You get a runestone for your efforts, and then you go battle the fortress. And it's not a perfect system. Like I was watching Ghost Shining Hunter's video yesterday, I believe. Well, I was watching it yesterday for sure. I don't remember when he released it. And he was talking about how to one Foundable on one page of one registry, I think according to his math, it was something ridiculous, like 120 runestones is what it was going to cost you in order to do that. Well, you prestige pages up. Let's say there's bronze, silver, gold, and then the first one that you start with, just the basic level. So that is going to take a lot of time. And the thing is when they released this game, they said it was a decades-long game. I have faith that during the course of this game, 6 months from now, it's not going to be what it is today. And that they will release different ways to get these Foundables, whether it be through events, through Community Day. Like Community Day last time was battling fortresses. So you battle fortresses. If you're strategic about your runestones, you can fill up those registry items that you need, or you have a better chance to, because there's a little bit of RNG, multiple Foundables for a wizarding challenge, and you're not guaranteed one. But I fully expect them to come up with a way to have events where you can speed up that process a little bit. So how do we get Foundables? Well, you have to have spell energy. Well, how do you get spell energy? Well, you can do your daily missions, which is going to give you a little bit, or you can visit greenhouses and inns. So now you've added port keys, you've added greenhouses, you've added inns, you've added fortresses, and wild spawns. All these different elements to the game. Now, what about the ingredients? Well, you're going to have Rubius Hagrid or Hermione Granger spawn on you that you're going to need. I've seen 9. I need 11. I've only freed 3. So you're going to need to make potions to make your life easier. You're going to need potions to make your life easier in the wizarding challenges. To do that, you pick up the ingredients off the ground. Now, not all the ingredients are going to spawn, and not all the ingredients are going to spawn frequently. Oh, well, look at that. You can go to a port key and find rare ingredients. You can go to greenhouses and grow rare ingredients, or you can just spin the greenhouse or pull the potted plant, whatever you want to do, harvest the plant that's already there, and get a chance to get the ingredients that you need to brew the potions that you need to defeat the Hermione Grangers, the Rubius Hagrids, to defeat the wizarding challenges. It is basically, it is kind of the this to this to this to that with a couple arrows in here. And if I were cool at graphics, if I were good at any of this, I'd have this big flow chart of Foundable, spell energy, greenhouses, wizarding challenges, ends, and everything would look pretty, and you could follow and just see how unique this game is, that you can't just do one element. And so, yeah, the game has some problems. I think it was Postymon. I'll put a link to his channel down in the description below. But he was talking about, and I think Wizards Unite Hub did a write-up on this as well. I'll put a link to them in the description as well. But they talked about how long it would take to fill out the first set of lessons within any given profession. And underneath that, it even says in the game right now, more lessons to come. And I want to say it's years. Like as a professor, I cannot realistically, I can't. I flat out can't. If they continue the way that they've been doing things, I will not finish that until sometime next year. Now we are in August, the 8th month of the year, so it's only 4 or 5 months away. But if I started this game thinking, hey, I know they said it's a decades-long game, but I'm going to knock it out before the end of this year, well, that's on me. That's my bad. Because they told you from the jump, this is a decades-long game, and they have built it for you are not going to complete this within 6 months of the game. Now, you may get to professor level or wizard level, witch level. 60 is the cap. You may get there inside of 6 months, but you won't be anywhere near completing the game and doing everything that you need. So yeah, it's a grind. Yeah, it's frustrating. Yeah, there are little bugs here and there, but there's nothing game breaking, in my opinion. As a content creator, if I come on here and say, this game is trash, I hate it, I don't know why any of you guys are playing it. you know what? Nobody's going to watch my channel anymore except for negative Nellies. Those are the only ones that are going to watch. And I'm not going to surround myself with negative Nellies. I'm a positive person. I'm going to take this game. I'm going to produce content that shows you, hey, you know what? One of my Discord members mentioned that if you go to a nest, everything that's not a spawn of that nest or a family of that nest is going to be a medium threat level or higher. That's helpful. If I look on my registry and I'm like, wow, okay, so for dark arts, I need this medium threat level, I need this high threat level, I need this severe threat level. Like, those are all going to spawn less frequently, but I know I have a couple of options. I can either go to a dark arts nest and try to find them, or I can go to a non-dark arts nest and kind of narrowly focus my attention down on exactly what it is I need. Similarly, if I know that these foundables are only available through wizarding challenges, I can go to a dark arts nest. I can farm runestones, just catch everything, spin ends, catch every single thing, build up some runestones. Yes, it takes a while, but you can't have everything today. So you go farm some dark arts nests. You take your runestones that you've now collected to a wizarding challenge, and it's not always going to give you a piece of fragment that you need, but I did 10, 11, 12. I think I did 12 towers today. I want to say my drop rate was right around 50%. Now, it's not great, but it's not terrible either. 1 out of 2. Like, I did everything from Tower Chamber 5 to Runes Chamber 3. Like, so everything in between, you know, bouncing around, doing this, doing that. The Ruins levels, I think I got out of there once in 3 attacks, and I think my max was 6 attacks. So you can knock them out quickly, get what you get, and move on. And it all just kind of builds on itself with no end. Like, it's a sphere, it's a ball of everything is tangled together. And that is what makes Wizards Unite so enjoyable for me. If it's not enjoyable to you, maybe this just isn't your game. And there's nothing wrong with it. There's no shame in that. But for people who like the geolocation games, this makes me go. I can look at my registry. Like, I've got 9 days leading up to FanFest. And Go Shiny Hunter had some really good tips that I had not even thought of how to prepare and get your registries in position so that you're not wasting your time. So what I'm gonna do over those next few days is I'm going to go find nests for the foundables that I need. I'm going to be happy that the other foundables that I don't need are going to spawn at a higher threat level, because then maybe I can get a little bit of my extras. And in fact, today I was at a Care of Magical Creatures nest because I need Acromantula eggs and Monster Book of Monsters, because, you know, those things always run away from me. But while I was there, I found 3 Urklings, which are a high threat level oddity. I found Professor McGonagall, which is an emergency. And then I found a handful of other high threat levels within the park that were not Care of Magical Creatures, on top of the handful of Care of Magical Creatures that were medium and high threat levels. So I gained at least 1 runestone, maybe 2 runestones out of that. I also opened a couple of port keys, and look at me. Now I'm leveling up my Care of Magical Creatures. I'm putting myself in a position to have that ready to go for FanFest. I went to a sponsored fortress, and if you don't have those, my condolences, but I'm gonna use what I have at my disposal. So I went to sponsored fortresses, and I used the Hogwarts Legends runestones, because there are a lot of those that I needed, and I made pretty good headway. I think I did 10 of those. I got at least 5, which puts me 5 closer than I was before. And then I did 2 Ministry of Magics and got 1 out of 2. So there you go. Anyway, the point of all of this is to say that the reason why I do the videos I do is to help kind of put this puzzle together, because this is a puzzle. If you didn't know that you could get foundables of a certain threat level in nests, well, now you do. If you don't know why you don't see any Bogart cabinets, now you know why. Because even though it's either a low, I think it's a medium threat level, the spawn rate on that is significantly lower than the high threat levels within the same thing. And most of the severes, and it's pretty low. So that's why you really aren't going to see them in the wild, and you know, okay, I need to walk off some port keys because that is going to increase my odds of finding them. Anyway, I hope that this helps you guys out. Somewhere on here I'll put some graphics throughout the video, and I don't know where, but of exactly how many Foundables there are total that are only in Wizarding Challenges and how many are found in port keys, just so you guys can get an idea of just how complex and how interwoven all of this is. If there is one area that I really wish they would develop on the game more, the story. Like the story is just like, okay, whatever, who cares? I wish they'd find a way to either bring in more missions or, I don't know. The story it's non-existent. Like the story could be removed from the game and I don't think anybody would notice. And for kind of an RPG type game, that's not cool. So that is there. If you want me to make a complaint, that is my one complaint. But I will say that I have noticed the portrait of Albus Dumbledore no longer is like, it doesn't, well, I can't think of the word that I wanted to use, but basically before it said it was severe, but it didn't have the beacon of light. Now, if you go to the registry, it just shows that it's a medium threat level. And then that makes sense because it's also available in port keys. And that's why the spawn rates on those are extremely low. Anyway, this was much less ranty. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that if you step away from your anger and your hatred, you can see that, wow, this game actually is really deep and really complex. And maybe there's an element to this game that I haven't been paying enough attention to. Like for me, Wizarding Challenges, I do 1 or 2 a day and just move on. And I'm like, a lot of my registry is missing. I'm like, oh, well, because I'm neglecting a major aspect of the game. That's all I've got for this one. So until next time.